All right, my friends, welcome to episode 305 of Prof and Dev Play Games. I am one of your hosts, Larry, at Prof Plays Games on Twitter. Over there is Anthony, the dev at Summerspeak. He makes video games for a living. And Anthony, the numbers keep going up. 305. When will
I
it stop?
know. It's like numbers just can increment each week.
It's like how they're made or something.
I know.
Fuck, stop integering. Asshole numbers. How you doing?
I'm okay. A little tired, but that's fine. Been really busy at work, getting stuff done. That people will eventually see, in many months.
Secret things.
Yeah, not completely revealed things.
Cool.
Not so much the Switch stuff anymore. That has moved past, I would say, my department onto other people and other things. Design doesn't have as much to do anymore on that. So,
do you have to design like a new cover for a physical release?
Yeah, they'll be physical. Like I think we're doing physical release. I'm pretty sure. And
you said Japan, right?
Definitely Japan. I think we have a publisher in Japan that's going to do physical, and I think so. Weirdly, Astroneer is published by Gearbox. Physical.
Gearbox. Oh,
yeah. Gearbox has a publishing arm.
Right.
And I know the PS4 physical was done by them, so if there's physical Switch, it'd likely be through them as well. So I assume we'd have to make new packaging and, cartridge art and the whole thing.
So, Randy Pitchford, huh?
I guess. I don't know.
He's down there checking out your photos for your whatever you decide to put on the tiny sticker for the Switch cartridge.
Sure. I'm sure he doesn't have any idea. Let's be honest.
Yeah. Speaking of not having any idea, this week we're talking about Sony's upcoming showcase, which happens on September 9th at 1 p.m. Pacific. And we have no idea what's going to be there, but we have some hints from what happened last year, and we're going to talk about what we think is going to be there. So why don't we start with, it's been what, a year? Over a year?
Just over a year. It's been like 14 months, 15 months at this point. Because the last one was June 10th or 11th of 2020.
Like the E3 area, basically.
Yeah, it was like right in the E3 area. This year they decided not to do it in the E3 timeframe. So,
yeah.
But last year was like the announcement of the two PS5 systems and like the controller. It was like, we're showing you a bunch of stuff about the PS5.
That's right. Yeah.
PS5 wasn't out last year. They were still ramping up that hype train for it. So this is the first showcase they've done now that system is out, which probably indicates some of the stuff that could potentially be there.
Yeah, it's safe bet Horizon's there, even though I think they just had a Horizon bit of information, right, at the Gamescom?
Yeah, I mean, they had pre-orders, but they didn't do and the pre-orders and a release date.
Oh, okay, that's what it was.
I mean, they could do if anything, they might just do a new trailer, and be done with it.
Yeah, it's coming. It's February.
Yeah,
there you go.
That wouldn't surprise me. It's 40 minutes, so they can fit in some trailers there, or it will just be part of the sizzle reel. Because there's going to be a sizzle reel. There always is.
Yeah, of course.
No, my thought is that there will be more God of War.
That's got to be like the marquee title here, right?
God of War and Gran Turismo 7. I think those are the two games currently slated for next year.
Well, Horizon is too, but
I guess Horizon originally wasn't going to be, but is now. So,
well, originally they said I think at the one in June, right? They said God of War was coming out this year.
Yeah, pretty much. Not happening.
Yeah, right, guys.
And yeah, I think Horizon was probably supposed to be done earlier than it is, but so it shifts everything around. But I would expect Gran Turismo 7, God of War, both getting new trailers, if not a little bit more featured.
Right. Yeah, Turismo 7, I don't know if we even know much about it, and that's just a visual showpiece. So
yep.
That's going to start with that, right? That's the big bang.
I wonder if that's the thing, just to show off. They're like, look at how powerful our system is.
Exactly.
Other than that, trying to think of other things.
Last of Us multiplayer.
That's possible.
Last of Us 2.
It's
Whatever.
about multiplayer. Yeah, faction. I could see that. I was trying to think if Naughty Dog would show anything, and that was the only thing I could really think of.
Yeah, that's all I can think of. Unless they're remastered. Unless they're bringing Uncharted 4 to 60 frames per second, if that's not already the case.
Yeah, it might just be That's the thing. I wonder if there could be a block in this presentation where they just go through some, like, fan favorite PS4 games and say, hey, these games are getting PS5 60 FPS enhancement, things like that, like Bloodborne. Yeah, like I saw stuff floating around when I was looking today. People talking about like, oh, what about Bloodborne like remastered? I'm like, they're not going to remaster Bloodborne.
Nah,
From's not doing that, but I could see them doing a performance patch for it. Because From's doing Elden Ring right now, and there's a good chance Elden Ring is in this event as well.
That's true. Yeah. Well, and didn't they just do a 60 FPS update for Sekiro, or am I making that up?
I think they did do an update for Sekiro. I don't know though.
Because they're doing a bunch. Like the obviously Horizon just had their 60 FPS. I don't know if the textures are 4K or whatever, or they already were maybe for the PS4 Pro.
Yes, Sekiro did get an update. They just run it at PS5 and Series X. Just run it at 60 FPS. So I could see Bloodborne getting that treatment.
Yeah.
But I could see them, like I said, putting it as a block of a number of games that are getting those, not just like, here's a trailer for a game just getting 60 FPS. It's like, no.
Yeah, right. Woohoo. That means you don't have much news. Yeah, just do like a compilation or whatever.
Yeah.
Montage. There's
montage. I bet there'll be a Ghost of Tsushima potential update for their multiplayer, likely.
Well, the standalone Legends, I'm sure, is going to have a trailer.
Yeah, some just piece there, because I was looking at was it Sucker Punch, right? Right.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's nothing else that they probably are working on right now. Is just Ghost of Tsushima stuff. They just put out the DLC and they don't call it a director's cut, do they? Or do they?
For the Ghost?
Yeah, what do they call
It's the director's cut. Yeah.
Is it director's cut?
Yep.
I can't keep all the definitive edition names.
Yeah. Seems like this gen they're going for a director's cut.
Yes. So, I mean, that just came out, so I don't think there'll be anything new from Sucker Punch. We talked about Naughty Dog could have a multiplayer thing, maybe some updates, performance updates to like Uncharted 4, but I don't think they're going to show off anything new. Last of Us Part 2 was last year. So I don't think Naughty Dog's going to put anything major out or want to talk about anything. Yeah, I think it's at least going to be 2 years probably before we see like the next thing Naughty Dog is working on.
Right. Oh, unless, well, I guess it doesn't count as Naughty Dog, but like, is there any chance that like Bend, for example, I'm just going to say Bend is working on Uncharted 5? Like they've passed on Uncharted.
It's possible. It could. I mean, that's possible. Finishing Uncharted 4, it's open for an Uncharted 5.
Yep.
So
I would like to see that take, based on that ending,
Yeah, so I'm curious. They could do that. They could, if anything, I wouldn't expect any much from a trailer more than some landscapes, maybe a voiceover, and then a title card on that.
Yep.
Like,
right. Just like let you know it's coming. Because right now, like down the pipeline, what do we know about? We know about Horizon, God of War,
Gran Turismo
7, and we assume factions, I guess. And that's on Sony's side. That's kind of all we know, right?
Yes. From them directly.
Elden Ring doesn't count, right? That's third party.
It is third party. Yeah, I'm trying to think of first party studios.
They just bought Housemarque, right?
They did. But I think it might be a little bit before Housemarque has something more to show.
Yeah, because just had Returnal, I guess.
Yeah. Sony Studios. I just want to go through them real quickly. Let's see. SIE Worldwide Studios. Yep, they have Bend, which is working on something. Could be
something
Uncharted
new.
5. Something new. You have Guerrilla Games. They're making Horizon. Housemarque just did Returnal. Insomniac. Spider-Man. They could show Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, that's possible. They work fucking fast.
They do. So that is actually very possible with a new Spider-Man movie coming out and everything.
Yeah, was that New Way Home? Long Way Home?
No Way Home.
No Way Home.
Which is based on the trailer going to have villains from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man movies.
Is that some sort of sacrilege?
No, like I would say outside in live action, we'll keep Spider-Verse as its own thing. That's amazing. And live action has I think the only modern live action take of Green Goblin and Doc Ock. And both of them are going to be in this new movie. The same actors, Willem Dafoe and Alfred Molina, playing the same versions of the villains.
Oh shit, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So they're doing some dimensional weirdness. Their own mini Spider-Verse, I think, in live action. But they're pulling stuff from the old movies, like from 20 years ago. So
yeah. God, are you fucking serious? It's been 20 years?
Yep.
Holy shit.
Do you want to feel fucking old?
You did it. That's it. What the fuck?
When was that Spider-Man? That Spider-Man movie, I think, was... it was 2002. Okay, so 19 years.
Thank you. I mean, there's a couple of things happening pretty soon that's going to make me feel fucking old. So
yeah.
Just add to the pile.
Yeah, so Insomniac's probably working on that. Could be shown. We don't know what London studio is doing, Malaysia studio. Media Molecule? They're
still doing Dreams, aren't they?
They have to be, right? That's still not out, so...
Dreams is out.
Oh yeah, it did come out. I just don't hear about it that much.
Nobody knew it.
Yeah. So yes, maybe. Naughty Dog doing whatever they're doing.
Didn't the studio that made Sackboy's Big Adventure get bought by somebody else? Like Microsoft or something?
Possible.
Or, not Microsoft, or Coke Media? I don't fucking know. Makes me think we're not going to get into those.
Sumo Digital.
Mm-hmm.
They got bought. Sumo Group went public in 2017 by Pipeworks Studios.
It was just like a month ago or less that they got bought by someone, I thought.
Yeah, it says there's just a subsidiary of somebody. Parent, Foundation 9, the Sumo Group. No, Tencent. Tencent bought them.
Ah, thank you. There we go.
And it's not them, it bought their parent company.
I see.
So it bought them in July of 2021.
There we go.
Whoa. Sumo Group, key people, one of them was Ian Livingstone. He was a co-founder of Games Workshop back in 70s. Dang. And yeah, before they made Warhammer or anything, when they were making weird game books and board games. So that's weird. Okay, 1975. And he is now an executive in the video game. Okay, sure. Why not?
Yeah. Okay. Hey, if George Bush can become president, anyone can become anything.
It's true. Polyphony Digital's making Gran Turismo 7. Yep. San Diego studio.
Oh, there's one. The show.
Yeah, it's coming out every year. So
yep.
Might as well show that. San Mateo studio.
That's on their main campus?
Maybe.
Huh, interesting.
I haven't heard of what they're doing. Santa Monica studio is doing God of War. Yep. Sucker Punch is doing Ghost of Tsushima, probably for many years, because it did very well, so I expect they'll do a sequel.
Please, yeah. Stop doing Infamous.
Team Asobi, who did...
oh, fuck, yeah, Astrobot, dude.
Yeah, they did the Astrobot stuff, so...
Now I know what I want. That's all I want.
Astrobot 2.
Yes, there's going to be no VR stuff here, they said.
Yep.
But that's the only thing they said that wasn't going to be here. So I'm worried and also happy that the next Astrobot's probably going to be the VR, set piece or whatever. But I want to see them do non-VR Astrobot. Yeah. Because it was so good.
So I think that's from their first party.
Jade Raymond. Is that second party?
That's second party. Okay. It was a new studio. They're funding a studio that she's building. So I don't think they would show anything yet. Next year, probably, at earliest.
Mm-hmm. Right.
So I think from first party, that's kind of where we're at. And I think it's hard to just rant to make predictions other than being just very random with like, oh, this IP or that IP.
Oh, you know what? What's it called? PlayStation Battle Royale. What the fuck's it called? The Smash failed.
All Stars something?
Yeah, PlayStation Battle All Stars is not right.
The thing that there's no reason for it to exist.
Yeah, but that seems like they could tap into that if they really wanted some new thing. I don't see that happening.
No, I don't see that happening either. But for third party, I do think we'll see an Elden Ring trailer in here.
Yeah.
Since they're doing co-marketing with it.
Does George R. R. Martin come out on Thursday?
No. He shouldn't. Just go somewhere
He comes
else.
out and holds a new book. I'm ready. Here it is.
They might show Deathloop again. Some more of that, because that's coming out real soon.
Right, that's true.
Like this month, I believe. So that could very well show a little of that. My hope is that they'll show a trailer for Final Fantasy 16.
That seems totally on the table. Yeah.
It does. I mean, Square's not showing it at Tokyo Game Show, but I wouldn't put it past them for putting it here, or Sony wanting it here, because I can't remember if Sony had co-marketing on it. I want to say they did. There's Forspoken, right?
Yeah.
Used to be Project Athia. That was last. They announced Project Athia. They announced that last showcase, and eventually became Forspoken.
Forspoken, right?
Show a trailer for that. I mean, that could be a Grand Theft Auto 5 trailer again, because why not?
God. That is coming out soon, isn't it?
It should. I mean,
I thought it was supposed to be by the end of this year. They're supposed to come out, but I feel like I would have heard about it by now.
Maybe? I have no clue. Yeah. I don't know. I don't pay attention to GTA 5, so.
Yeah. What are the odds? The answer is 0. But what are the odds that CD Projekt Red comes out on Sony's stage to talk about Witcher Enhanced Edition for PS5?
No. Considering I saw a thing this week and they had an investor call again, or their latest thing, and they basically said that they're unsure if any of the enhanced editions for Cyberpunk or Witcher were going to ship this year.
Yeah, which tells me all I need to know. That's not. The answer is no.
No.
Oh, and like their operating or their income for the year or whatever is negative because of how much they spent trying to fix Cyberpunk.
Yes. Well, it's weird because they actually made more money, but they spent more.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah, it's not a good place for them.
I bought 10 shares of their stock just for fun right after this whole thing happened, last year.
Yeah.
And it's continued to slide the whole year.
Oh, boy.
So wise investment. Really good.
There you go.
That's what I get for being a vulture.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. I just had to go through a risk assessment for my financial advisor, just to update it every few years. There was one question, though, that was pretty funny, which was you have your investments. Some years it's possible that the market over time has lost 20% in a year.
Yep.
What do you do when that happens? And the questions are just stay the plan, don't do anything, pull out, pause everything. But there was one that was very much the Vulture thing of being buy everything while it's low.
That's
Put
what
more
I would
money
do.
And I'm yep.
That's my answer. That is
if I have it, yes.
Answer.
Yes.
Yep.
It lost 20%? Yes. Let's go.
I bought a genetic stock that was low and then it was super high. It went really low. I bought it low. It went super high. And I was like, wow, I just made a lot of my investment. And then it crashed again. Did I sell? No. I bought more. Because it'll happen again,
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
if you're willing to wait, yes.
And if you have money, like if you don't have
Yeah.
money, like if that's,
Don't do that.
I don't invest what I can't afford to lose, you know.
Yeah.
It's a long game. This is for when I'm 65 and I'm not even 40 yet.
Yes.
Like what's the Google in 20 years? It's biotech. It's genetics. That's my bet.
Not a bad bet, I will say. Not at all.
But you know, it's a dartboard, so who knows? May hit the right one, may not.
I'm trying to see. Is there anything else that I can think of that would be crazy there? Stuff from Square.
What about Metal Gear Solid remake?
Oh, that's possible.
That would blow the doors off the whole thing.
It would. Just
that'd
remake the first one. I only care about the first one. God damn it.
What if they made the first one and then they made 2 through 5, but made them all into one game and cut out all the bullshit?
That's not going to happen.
I know.
I mean, if you cut out all the bullshit, you wouldn't have a game left to actually play.
Right. It could be an epilogue to the first game.
There you go. Oh, damn it. But I'll take that first one again.
Remastered? Oh, that's just like money on the table, man. But Konami.
Yeah. It is Konami.
I feel like Konami would listen. Go ahead, sorry.
Yeah, I mean, Konami made it, but I mean, Sony has some tie to it as well.
Right, and I feel like that was either because it was a console exclusive or they helped fund it, but I feel like maybe Konami would listen to Sony and say, hey, we're going to do a thing with this, and you're going to make money. Okay?
Oh, it says it came to Windows.
I think you can play it on Good Old Games.
Oh, that's possible. Yeah, so maybe there's something in the contract where it can't go to a different console. No, because that's not true. Because I have the Twin Snakes for GameCube.
Oh, that's true. And that was a remake. 1 and 2, right?
No, it was just 1. It was a remake of 1.
Okay.
Yeah, Metal Gear Solid's $10 on Good Old Games. Well, shit. Okay. So yeah, they could do a remaster of that, remake of that.
That would be a crazy, one more thing.
That'd do really well, I must say. Is there anything else that's really off the top of my head that's like, oh yeah, they'll totally do something like that? I mean, there's
sorry, go ahead. Always
the possibility of a Battlefield or a Call of Duty trailer in there.
Boo, no Blizzard or Activision, please.
I know. That's why I said Battlefield. Maybe EA.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
But again, I don't know who Activision has co-marketing with for the next Call of Duty, because they always do a preferential to one of the consoles. Could switch back to Microsoft if they want to spend the money on it. I don't know.
If Microsoft wants to touch it.
Yeah.
Or that was, signed a long time ago, though. So probably go through anyways. What about Diablo 2 Resurrected? Would that be on?
That could be.
It's coming out soon.
It's coming out soon. Again, sizzle reel potential probability. I don't think it would get a full spot.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting that it actually comes out for consoles too.
Yes, it does.
That's so weird to think about. Okay.
Yeah, because I've taken for granted that Diablo 3's been out for so long. Of course, we played Diablo 2 on a console. Wait a second.
No.
No, we haven't.
Not at all.
Yeah, and it won't be for a while.
Yeah.
If ever, we'll see. But I would like to see some sort of experience like Uncharted Lost Legacy or Miles Morales. One of their big. Imagine like a spin-off for Horizon Zero Dawn.
Yeah.
Or whatever. That's just like a 4-hour experience. I want to see more of that kind of stuff. I don't know if that will happen this time, but it'd be nice to be surprised.
I don't think they'll announce, for Horizon, that won't get announced this time. That could be announced
no, for sure not.
Shortly after. Yeah. It releases and they announce something like that next showcase. Definitely.
Yeah.
And they can even market it that as being it's kind of DLC, but not. It's a standalone experience.
Right, which is exactly what Naughty Dog did.
Yeah, and that's what, honestly, Miles Morales is. It's not of the scope of the first Spider-Man. It's bigger than they would consider DLC.
Right.
So just spin it up as its own standalone game. But they didn't charge full price for Miles Morales, if I remember right. If you just bought it... Yeah, 50.
Yeah. So, no, but close. Speaking of, maybe you didn't follow the pricing debacle for Forbidden West, or did you see it today?
I only saw it today whenever I saw the article that would be like, that was like, due to pushback, we're just going to let PS5 4 copies upgrade to PS5 without issue for free.
Yeah.
But then going forward, you don't get to do that.
Yep.
Which is if they're cross generation, but I don't actually know what cross generation stuff is coming after Horizon. Gran Turismo 7 is not.
I thought they said God of War was, or did they not? Am I making that up?
They never announced it. They just were like,
okay.
It's because all they showed was a title card that they were making it, so they didn't talk about it.
I feel like it's not going to be much of a problem because they'll just drop PS4, but there's too many PS4s in the wild.
Yeah,
and not enough PS5s.
That's the problem. Because I was also looking, and then they're pushing very much though. Like, PS5 games are $70. Like,
yep, right.
But then I was trying to look towards Microsoft as well, and I was like, okay. Unfortunately, looking at it, I'm like, Microsoft just doesn't have a bunch of games coming out in general, at all.
Yeah.
And I was like, God, have they had Series X exclusive games since the Series X came out? I mean, ignoring that they'll let it be on the PC, but it has, I don't think they've had any games that are Series X only and PC. It's always been like, it will run on an Xbox One, a Series X, and PC.
I thought Flight Simulator couldn't run on the old ones, or am I misremembering?
It may not be. I mean, that could theoretically be there.
The one.
The one, which I'm like, wow. But it made me think about how few games Microsoft has actually made in the last year.
They've delayed more games than
they have delayed. So Halo Infinite is going to be on Xbox One as well still.
Yep.
But I was trying to find a list. All the other ones that they've announced, State of Decay 3, Forza Motorsport, Fable, Avowed, and Everwild, will only be coming to Series X and PC. They actually, they straight up stated that like, their next wave of games after Infinite are Series X and PC. That's it.
I guess that makes sense because they're looking at the timeline and like they won't be out for a while.
I mean, yeah. Some of these will be a while. I think State of Decay 3 will probably be next year. And a Forza will probably be next year. The other ones are longer. But the other thing I was looking here, I was like, have we seen Microsoft charge $70 for a game yet? And the answer was no, because they haven't put out a game yet. That is
even if they did, they have smart delivery. That's their answer. They're not charging for upgrades.
I'm not asking for an upgrade. I'm not talking about upgrades. I'm talking about a Series X only game, and what they charge for that.
You're wondering if the full price is $70.
Yeah. So will the Avowed or Fable, which are going to be Series X only games, are they going to be $70?
Yeah, good question. Because Switch didn't change theirs, obviously.
No. And Halo isn't going to. But Halo's weird. They're only charging $50 on PC for Halo, and it's just like Halo Infinite campaign $50. Because they're making the multiplayer free.
Right.
So I was trying to see if I could find an equivalence of a Series X exclusive game, and there just isn't one. I mean, yes, Flight Sim, but honestly, I only see people playing Flight Sim on PC.
On PC, yeah.
Where they have all their ridiculous joysticks and peripherals.
Right. Yeah, on one side, I think they can afford to wait to see how it lands for Sony with the price increase. But on the other hand, I don't know if Microsoft cares about what price they charge. They'll keep it at $60 because they don't want to sell games. They want to sell Game Pass.
Yeah.
So either you jack the price up so people are like, well, it's a better value to do Game Pass, or you keep it at $60 because you don't fucking care. Like, you sell games, great. We want you to do Game Pass instead.
The craziest thing would be is if they just stop selling the games and just say, you want this game, you do Game Pass.
That will be the crazy step. Absolutely.
And it's going to happen, right?
Yeah,
I mean, eventually it has to get there. It's the Netflix style thing of being like, Netflix doesn't put their shows out on DVDs and Blu-rays.
Right. Yep, that's true.
So it's just like, I mean, it has to happen at some point where Microsoft's just going to be like, yeah, you don't buy it. You want to play this game, you just do Game Pass and you play it.
Well, I can't see it happening until they have a console that's digital only, like an only digital. No disc-based one. Maybe next gen. Because I can't see them saying, "Oh yeah, you can have a disc, but we're not going to put anything on disc." Why would you? No. I guess previous gen stuff, but
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think that's where they're going. They're already there anyways. Like, you don't need to buy the game. The next step is just you can't buy the game.
Yeah, we're just not even letting people, like, we're just nixing that entire chunk because we just want people to subscribe, which is a weird concept to think about, but it's possible.
I could see them doing it in steps where they're like, we don't make digital games anymore. Or, we don't make physical games anymore.
Yeah.
You can still buy them digitally if you want, but we don't do physical anymore. And then slowly we don't sell the digital. You just do Game Pass.
Yeah, and you're like, that's what you do. If you want to play Microsoft games, you just pay your Game Pass subscription. There you go.
Yeah, they've got to have games first. Give them.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. And when I was trying to find this in the past year, like what came out and what's exclusive, they really haven't put out a whole hell of a lot yet. Like, they are still very much in there. We've acquired a number of studios. They are all working on things. We'll have stuff probably in 2023, most likely.
Yep.
And they're hoping Halo can hold things while other things get made. But
I feel like the multiplayer can. I feel like that's been good every time for the most part. The campaigns, what's just
here's the thing where I would say it has been good every time. The multiplayer world is very different the last time Halo's come out with multiplayer. Like, the market has fundamentally changed in what people want from multiplayer now and shooters.
And I guess we'll see if they're responding to that, because 2 or 3 years ago, when they were talking about the Halo Infinite multiplayer, they said, well, there'll be a battle royale, and they're like, the only BR we're interested in is battle rifle. I wonder if now they're like, yeah, we have a battle royale. Yep, here it is.
Yeah, and I mean, they might not do that, but I'm trying to think of the stuff that's out there that's really the market. You have all the battle royale stuff, so they have to compete, of course, with Fortnite and Apex, PUBG. I guess those are the big 3 battle royales. Call of Duty. Is it Warzone? Is theirs?
Yeah, Warzone. Right. Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to compete. Then on the other side, especially on the PC side of things, with now games like Escape from Tarkov, which aren't battle royales, but a very specific type of multiplayer shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Very realistic. Honestly, it reminds me of a big kind of open world Counter-Strike in some ways.
Well, you have my attention now.
It's complicated as fuck.
Okay, you've lost my attention now.
Yeah, I would never want to play the thing, but I did watch last year someone play, like, I watched a streamer play it like daily on a stream for like a week, just try to understand why this game was so popular, and I got it. Like, it's like somewhat Counter-Strike-ish in its I would say take on like how weapons hit and firing, but it's a lot of walking around big open maps, run down city towns and forests and stuff with like very specific objectives, like you're trying to collect things and then get extracted. Well, there's AI around, and there's other people just playing, trying to do the same thing, but they can take your stuff if they kill you. And when I say take your stuff, it goes into their account.
Oh, shit.
Like, you keep your guns between games. Like, you have like an inventory.
Or you lose your guns between games?
Yeah, someone takes it.
Shit.
And then you're well, crap. That was a good gun. Now I don't have it anymore.
Yeah.
Because you pick your loadout before going in. Like, you equip what you want. So, again, but it's super popular. It's super popular on Twitch. And so Halo's coming into this world now. I'm like, I don't think just Halo Deathmatch, beyond maybe getting a spike at the beginning because it's Halo, gets a long tail in this world. Unfortunately.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, that is a good point. I thought it would sustain him for a year, but there is a lot more compelling competition than there was in 2013. When did 5 come out? 2015?
2014. I think 14. Or 15. It's been 6 or 7 years since
Yeah.
Halo. So yeah, things are just changed on that front. So
Dang.
I think weirdly timed Sony doing their showcase now and actually like doing some of those one more things and going like, here's all the games that you're getting over the next year and a half is going to look really good for them. Like, even though they have this like obnoxious upgrade policy and the whole thing.
Yeah.
When it comes down to it, people just want to see cool games.
Yep.
And if they can show that, they create excitement. And I think they can, is the thing. So that's what I expect out of the 40 minutes. To see a bunch of cool games. And see a number of things that haven't been announced.
Yep, a lot of cool games and few people talking. Probably not very many talking heads.
No.
I don't know who that would be anymore, really.
Wasn't who got promoted to the head of...
It's Jim Ryan is the head.
The head, but it was the guy from Gorilla that got promoted under.
Oh, Herman Holtz.
Yeah, Herman Holtz I expect to hear from.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I bet he'll just do an intro or something, but that's about it.
Yep, I can see that for sure. So you've been working a lot this week. Have you had a chance to play anything?
Yep.
Besides
every night, Final Fantasy 14. Every night.
Oh shit!
You can't say it. Just besides, no, nothing else. Nothing but that game. Path. Yep.
Anything new since last week? In terms of
not really. I'm almost done with Shadowbringers, the last currently out expansion. Like I have another. I'm probably like 80% of the way through that quest line. That expansion, I get why people constantly say they're like, this expansion is incredible, and it is incredible. The quest design is really good. If you never want to actually play with people, you don't have to anymore. Not even for groups. Wow. They interest for the Shadowbringers expansion. Whenever you enter a dungeon, when you're leveling, you can recruit all the story characters that have been with you for the length of the game, like the entire thing. And just have them as party members, and they're just AIs that are awesome.
Very nice.
So it's like, wow, you guys really have made an MMO that you don't actually have to play with people. Which one of their key pillars is just tell a good story, and they just chose to do that. And
that's something that I would love to see in Destiny 2. Like, you don't have to play with people, just recruit some NPCs.
Yeah. And I think and like Destiny and some of those games, and WoW, even in that, they're like, well, no, why would we let you do that? This is a multiplayer game.
Because I want to play the game how I want to fucking play it.
But our pillar is this: you're supposed to play with other people. And I think it would be a hard time to convince people at those companies that maybe people just want to go run around and shoot things without having to deal with other people, but want to experience your world.
That's exactly how I feel about Destiny 2. Is like, I don't have the fucking time or skill up, whatever, to like get a group together to experience some of those raids. And so then I don't get to experience part of a game that I bought. And that just sucks. It still sucks. And it's been like 7 years that I've never been able to do that. Yeah.
So I will say they did a very cool thing. Yeah. With Shadowbringers and letting you do that. Even though I've still grouped with parties sometimes, because one thing is true. If you want to play with real people, you'll usually finish a dungeon way faster than doing it with the AIs. But whatever, that's fine. That's really it. Story is a curveball on this expansion, but is really good, and it's not a curveball of like, oh, I didn't see that. I can't see that this is how it went, but it's like, oh, you've been laying the groundwork for this the entire 200 hours I've been playing.
Oh my god, that's awesome. What a payoff.
It is payoff. Like, you're like, holy shit. That's why people always say don't skip even the boring parts of the initial game, because it does. A lot of that comes back, and it's needed context. A lot of foreshadowing. I think that's about it. Like I said, quest design's way better. The music is fantastic. I don't think I've talked about that. The entire game, holy shit, the music is great.
Really?
Yeah, I love the music in this. Lots of leitmotifs going on through lots of different songs. And then a lot of the songs are homages to other Final Fantasy things, because this game is just basically, beyond telling its own story, is a huge celebration of the entire franchise. So
does it advance any of those storylines from previous games?
Nope.
Okay.
because it's telling its
Probably good.
story,
Yeah.
but it does put little just Easter eggs in. Like I said, the stuff that had Final Fantasy Tactics was part of a raid content that's there. Same with Final Fantasy 12 stuff is in here. But there's like little musical hints of Final Fantasy 6. There's stuff from 7 and 8 a little bit. Like one of the classes is Gunbreaker, which is a gunblade from 8.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like that's just one of the playable jobs. So if anything, it's still telling its own story. It's its own game, but it celebrates the entire franchise. In subtle and not so subtle ways sometimes. And so if you like the franchise, it's pretty amazing from that standpoint.
That's pretty cool.
It is cool. I'm having a blast with it. And I don't see myself playing anything new until I at least finish up this main story, which will probably be finish the expansion probably mid this week. And then I have post-expansion patch quest content to get through, which will probably take the rest of the week longer. But so at least one more week of story stuff to do. And then I make the choice if there's anything else I want to do in the game. Side stuff that I skipped because I was focusing on the main story. So
next week I don't say what you've been playing. I just say how's Final Fantasy.
Yeah, 14? Pretty much. That's all you need to be saying.
So for me this week, same stuff. Miitopia with my daughter. Lego Worlds with my daughter. But then No Man's Sky had their, what was it called? Foundations or
Frontiers. My son's been playing it.
Yeah.
So anytime he has some possible game time, he is in.
I heard about it, I read about it. So my daughter and I sat down and watched the trailer. That's the first time that I had seen it when I watched it with her. And she was super excited. There are cities you can go explore and whatever else. Settlements that you can kind of like take over as an overseer and kind of, it's almost like I don't know if RTS is the right word, probably not, but it's like Simi. You're like managing this place and shit. But we didn't get there because as soon as we loaded in, she wanted to go back to her home base, and she had realized that there was no furniture in the house. She's like, well, I want to put furniture down. I was like, I don't fucking know how to make furniture. So I was like, how do I do furniture? Okay, I gotta go to the fucking anomaly and get the blueprints, and I don't have enough salvage data. We just made a stool and a table that you can't sit at. It's like, all right. So we're just fucking decorating her thing, and then she wanted the controller. So then she just swam around her island, or her world, which is a temperate, nice, beautiful world. And so she just swam around for 45 minutes, and we didn't see any of the new content. So maybe I'll do that tonight. I don't know, but I heard
sounds right.
It looks good.
Yeah, my son is old enough. He is very focused on. He's got his settlement. He's got his plans on things that he wants. He just got his void egg, which is a term that exists in that game.
I was like, I don't know what that is.
He got a void egg. Then you do things too, so you can hatch a void ship. It's like a living ship.
Is that the bug that you can fucking fly in the ride on in the trailer?
No, that's a different thing. The void ships are actual spaceships that look very like organic-esque type things, but they come from a void egg, and he's been working to get one of those. I don't know. He's doing all sorts of stuff, and I'm like, good for you, buddy. I don't know much of what you're doing anymore in this game.
Well, the things that game tickles in your brain, man, like the building and collecting and resource management, like I can't think of a bad thing about that game.
No.
Now, man, what that game has fucking become is unbelievable compared to where it started.
Yes. 100% can't believe they actually got to this point.
Yep.
But they did. So good for them.
I mean, it's got to be, I don't know, they must continue to sell that fucking game because that's all that's sustaining their studio besides The Last Campfire, I guess, which is a good puzzle game, by the way. My daughter and I also play that.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty fun.
I couldn't remember the name of that because my son was asking if they made other games. And I said,
I'm
like, they made one before No Man's Sky. Which was like a...
Oh, they made, oh, fuck me.
It was like a motorcycle stunt game thing.
God, what was it called? But yes, they did. They made that game.
Yeah, and then they made No Man's Sky, and then, The Last Campfire. I'm like, they haven't made mini games. Joe Danger.
Thank you. Fuck. Yes, Joe Danger.
They made 3 Joe Danger games.
Oh, I didn't realize they made 3. I thought there was 1.
Yeah, they made Joe Danger 2, and then Joe Danger Infinity, which was only on iOS.
Ah, okay.
But I think they all... I'm curious, did they all launch on iOS first? Like, were they making phone games first? They might have. No, it was, I don't know. At this point, I don't know. But, yeah, they didn't make a lot before No Man's Sky. Got in over their head with No Man's Sky.
Big time.
Somehow figured out a way to dig themselves out of that hole and make their vision actually happen.
Yeah, dude. Man, that game is, I mean, everyone knows it's become something really special. And every time I turn it on, when we're playing with my daughter, my wife's just like, wow, this game is amazing looking. Like, everything looks awesome.
Yeah.
You want to play? No. Okay. But my daughter loves it, mainly swimming, but, whatever. And jetpacking. She's like, why does the jetpack run out? Why can't I just fly everywhere? I'm like, I guess I could upgrade it. I don't know. I put 20 hours into that game. That's all I put into it. I don't know. There's stuff I don't know. Lots of stuff. I apparently need like star silk to make a chair, which she really wanted me to make a chair. I'm like, I don't even know what star silk is. Fucking Google that shit.
Yep, wiki time.
Yeah, I'm about to go down a rabbit hole for my daughter.
Yep.
If you could only make a character named Dave Grohl in that game, she would be all the fuck over it.
It's true. I mean, you could just say your character was Dave Grohl.
Oh my god, yeah, because you're in a spacesuit. It's Dave Grohl.
Yeah. It's Dave Grohl in a spacesuit. Why not?
Today we were talking about something, and I was trying to see how much she liked it, and I was like, on a scale of Taylor Hawkins to Dave Grohl, how much you like this? And she looked at me like, what? I like both those things. I'm like, okay, well, never mind. Can you name all 6 members of the Foo Fighters?
Me? No.
Yes. My daughter can.
Jeez.
Yep. Even the keyboardist who joined in 2017 or whatever, who I didn't even know was a member until this whole obsession started. And that's my favorite band, and I didn't even know that he was an official member.
I mean, some of them have left and come back, right?
Yeah, so Pat Smear left around the late 90s.
90s, I remember when he left.
Yeah, he left after Color in the Shape, basically. And then Dave Grohl's old guitarist from Scream came on, and that didn't fucking go anywhere. He left, yeah. And then they were auditioning a guitarist. I was listening to the Chris Shiflett has a podcast, and he's the one that got the job. But it was the same time that the Chili Peppers, I think, were auditioning for a guitarist, and his friend was trying to get him to audition there. He's like, no, I want to audition for the Foo Fighters. You do? Yes. And he auditioned and got the job. So it's Chris Shiflett. Okay. But then he was always like, well, when Pat Smear comes back, I'm gone. And then Pat Smear came back in like 10 years later. And they were like, well, you're also part of the band. So no, we're going to have 3 guitarists now.
No, we want you here. Don't go.
Yep. So, which is crazy because that Chris Shiflett's main interest is country and like bluegrass. So.
Okay.
Yeah, but he can shred. So, whatever.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Foo Fighters podcast.
Yeah, I guess so.
What is your favorite Foo Fighters song, by the way?
Everlong.
Yeah. Good.
No hesitation, nothing. Yeah, that song is probably my favorite song of all time.
Yep, that is my number one song of all time. I told my wife when I die, that's at my funeral, and I'm like, I'm going to ruin that for everyone there, like my daughter who loves it, but whatever.
There you go. That's also weirdly David Letterman's favorite song.
I mean, it doesn't seem weird to me.
It's a fucking great song. Just funny because he's had the Foo Fighters on whenever he was doing that Late Show. I remember him having like the Foo Fighters on a couple times because he's like, and he'd always introduce them as like, especially when they played Everlong, he'd be like, my favorite band playing my favorite song.
Yep.
And then they closed out like one of his final shows.
By playing Everlong.
Everlong, they just did like a big set. They did what album did they... I think they did like the entire...
Oh, they did the
Wasting
whole
Light.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. On Letterman.
They did. Yep.
So, yeah. But yes, Everlong is, I think, a perfect song. Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree. It's my favorite song of all time. So
it's really good.
Hard to disagree.
When I hear it, I'm just like, yep, have to listen to the whole thing. And maybe just repeat it again.
We have rules for our house, like our family rules, whatever. First rule is you always be kind to everyone in every situation. Rule number 2 is we jump to more cowbell every night. Rule 3 is like a I don't know, clean up after yourself. I can't remember what it is. But rule number 4 is if Everlong starts, Everlong finishes. That's a real rule in our family.
That's a good rule.
Yeah, you cannot stop this song.
No. Now you're talking about it, I'm like, I'm going to have to listen to this after we get done recording, because, yeah. Anything else you've been playing?
A fucking guitar. I got a new amp.
Nice.
Midlife crisis mode is like here, man. But it's a nice like amps now are fucking awesome. It's like it's a desktop amp, so it's probably, I don't know, 14 inches long and 6 inches deep and 6 inches tall, whatever.
Oh wow.
And it has its different has 6 different modes. It's a bass amp too, so it's acoustic, bass, and then it's got 5 different electric modes like metal, clean, whatever else. But then it connects to your fucking, it has an app, and then in the app there are just tons of presets. Like here's the Come As You Are preset, here's the Inner Sandman preset, and when you turn on the Come As You Are preset and play Come As You Are, it sounds just like Come As You Are.
That's
so
funny.
It's
That's
cool.
Really
and it's got
funny.
like, general presets too, for like, different kinds of metal, different kinds of country, different kinds of whatever. So I've been having a shit ton of fun. And then my daughter wanted me to find the Sweet Child of Mine preset. I was like, I don't know if that exists. So I just put on a metal or whatever, a rock one, and played the intro to Sweet Child of Mine. And she's like, yeah, that's it. And I was like, okay, cool. And then I looked down at the thing, and there's actually a Sweet Child of Mine preset. I was like, all right, let's try this. And when you do it and you play the intro, it sounds exactly like the intro, which is awesome.
That's
so, yeah,
crazy. Welcome to
we,
technology. Welcome to the improvement of technology.
Yep. Also, she's, I don't know if obsessed is the right word, but you're really into it. So we got her it's like a 3/4 size electric guitar kit. So it comes and you get to stay in it, put the electrics in, screw on the neck, put the strings on, all that kind of shit. But it's not E to E, it's A to A. It's a whole, basically five frets up.
Okay.
So if you put a capo on the 5th fret, that's what that would sound like.
Weird.
But
okay.
It's for like tiny fingers. It's got a small neck and
Yeah,
tiny finger. She just wants to play my guitar, but it's so big for her. She's just kind of like awkwardly strumming it.
Well, that's cool.
Yeah, it's real cool stuff. We are way off.
Yes, we are. I think we should wrap this up.
Yeah, probably a good idea. This has been episode 305 of Prof and Dev Play Games and talk about Foo Fighters. If you like us somehow, please rate us on your podcast service of choice, and we'll see you next week where we're going to recap the Sony showcase and see what they talked about.
Yeah.
Thanks, folks.
All right. Later all.